Hey guys, and welcome back to Storytime. 2 Gryphon with you here. Glad you're with me today. I hope you're having a really good day. We've got a busy day today ahead of us, or at least Tumble does. We can just sit back and watch, but Tumble has a busy day. Because Tumble was sitting around, he was watching TV and his fish, and he was thinking about, you know, where do I put this colony? Because he just destroyed, he took down that entire building from the last episode, and he has all the pieces. And he was looking around, it's like, okay, well, where should I put a colony? And he went around to a few planets and he searched it out, but he eventually decided, you know what? Why not right here? Why not right here? It's a nice planet. It's not terribly dangerous. It rains plenty. And so Tumble leveled all of this out and decided he's going to build a colony right here on his own home planet. That way he won't have to move. He won't have to move, and there could be friends hanging out with him right here where he lives. And he could be Mayor Bird, which he wants to be Mayor Bird. He would like to... He's been a warrior for a long time. He's kicked a lot of ass and screwed around, and he'd kind of like to retire being a landlord. Just chilling out, you know, making sure he's providing for his tenants and relaxing, you know? So, the first thing we have to do is we're gonna move the garden. I know, this is stupid. We're gonna move the garden back outside, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need more garden space because we have a lot of garden in here. But we're gonna pick up everything, and then we're gonna come back and grab the seeds or the plants that we need to grab. So, the last story time, the story was not, it wasn't that positive. It wasn't very happy. I enjoyed telling it to you guys, but yeah, that was not a happy story. Today, it's gonna be a bit more of a happy story. God, look at all this. I swear, God. See, I don't really know how this works because I don't know if I have to feed my whole colony or not. We're gonna find out though. I'm not gonna be able to have enough places to put all of this stuff. I may need to build... No way. I may need to build another fridge. You know what? Let me build another fridge. Hang on. Okay, so it turns out I had enough stuff to build, like, a few fridges. And... so I'm gonna do that for now. I think that'll store everything. Not quite sure, but we'll see. Either way, there we go. We're gonna have a lot more food in the future, too. I mean, we're gonna build a garden that is absolutely redonkulous. That nobody's gonna need for food. It's gonna be a paradise. We're gonna plant all of it. It's gonna be amazing. Alright. I'm gonna put all that food in the fridge. Well, most of it. I do need some food. Like, on me. I'll keep some potatoes. And let's just dump a lot of the... wait, that was a seed. Need those. I'm gonna go up here and bake some potatoes, and actually something else I'm gonna do is, we're gonna make as many dishes out of this as we can, so we can just put it back in the fridge and sort of conserve space. But for now, let's take all these. Yeah, I know it's gonna be ugly. This is just gonna turn into a basement, I guess. That sprinkler back. I want my sprinklers back. Even though I'm not gonna need them because it rains outside a lot. So we're just taking all these plants. Excellent. Oh, took a piece of the stairs. Shit. All right, there we go. We have all of the seeds. All of them. Every seed, plus some food. Sort this out. There we go. And we're gonna plant all of them. And I swear to God, after we do this garden, I swear we're not gonna expand the garden anymore. Because our garden is gonna be ridiculous. It was already ridiculous, and now it's gonna be even more ridiculous. And so, after this, I'm not even gonna collect food anymore. No more foods, no more seeds, unless I see something that we don't already have. But I think I pretty much have collected every seed in the galaxy. So, we're gonna go plant those. So, on to my story for today. The year was 1990. And I did have a computer. It was a very old computer. It was an original, oh boy, it's not the kind of seat I need. Original IBM 5150. It was the very first home computer that was made from IBM. And it not very good for gaming, other than maybe text adventures. I did play the first SimCity on it, but it was not amazing, I'll tell you that. Well, it was for the time, but not now. No cable TV at all. Well, I mean, cable TV existed, but we didn't have it because we lived out in the middle of nowhere. We lived out in a very rural area that just we didn't get cable. So, what else? I had a Nintendo. Tetris had just come out, and everybody was addicted to that. Oh man, everybody was just going crazy over Tetris. That was just a big thing then. And that was about the time we're talking here. Now, interestingly enough, we lived in a house that was, like I said, it was very rural. It was built by a guy that was an architect, and he wanted to build his house outside the city limits so that he could build it like he wanted to. He wanted to be able to build it without a lot of the restrictions. And this house was a crazy house. It was the most interesting house I've ever lived in. It was like a maze. It took us like a week to be able to find our way just around the house. And there were so many old things that were left in there they were just crazy. Old history books from school that were really, really inaccurate. I remember picking up one book that I saw, and it was just laying in the back storage area. It was left there from whatever. And it was a school history book. And there was a section on, and pardon me, I'm just quoting the book here. There was a section on quote-unquote Negroes. And I remember the quote I can quote you this book. It said, "Negroes generally are from Africa. They are amongst the most ignorant people on the planet." And this was, maybe it wasn't, I don't think it was history, it may have been social studies, but this was a school book. And I'm sitting there reading that thinking, oh my God. You know, people harken back to their school education as the end-all be-all. Well, I learned in school from my teacher that blah, blah, blah. Well, sometimes that can be wrong, you know? Sometimes, school, public education is not the most accurate thing, just saying. So, a lot of crazy things in this house. And amongst them was since we didn't have TV, well, we didn't have cable. We did have an antenna. And the antenna was one of these automated ones. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these before, but you could actually, there was a dial, a little box with a dial on it on top of the television. And what you could do is you could turn that dial and it would actually turn the antenna to a face to point a different direction so you could pick up different stations. And the thing was old and crazy. It had a motorized little thing and you just turn it to wherever you wanted to. We had a few places marked with sticky notes on the dial that we could turn it to. Oof, it's got dark. Let's put on our little, put on our light, shall we? Where'd it go? There it is. All right. And I'm thinking I may need to expand the area that I actually flattened out because it looks like most of this is becoming garden really quick. Oh, no, you don't. You tangle with the wrong bird tonight. Oh, wrong with you. So, like I said, 1990. This was 2 years before my father died. And I don't know why. My mother, I remember her when I was younger. She worked all day in the house. Doing laundry, cleaning up, making dinner, lunch. She was the housewife. And I haven't asked her, I may do this one day, but it seems like she enjoyed that. Seems like she enjoyed taking care of the kids, staying home, but I do remember that every day around noon, she would sit down on the couch for an hour or so, and she would watch her soap operas. Now, this was a thing you just did not interfere with. You didn't mess with her soap operas. Now, I don't know why, but during this period in 1990, I'd never seen a soap opera before. I knew a lot of people were into them, and I wanted to understand why. So oh, those are poisonous, and so are these. I found out these wortweeds are poison for me, so I'm not eating either of those. Wheat, not a problem. I started watching soap operas. And it was weird because, oh, that's it. That's all of it. Wow. That is a large garden. And I didn't even plant all the seeds we had. Well, I've heard that you can actually get your villagers to farm for you and sell it and make pixels from that. So maybe that'll do good for us. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna start building. Let me see. Let me take away this soil. Can I do that? I can. But it's a little weird. Oh, balls. Okay, fine. Well, No, I want that other wheat. I only have 4 wheats, and wheats are good because you can make bread with them. So, yeah. Just fill that in there. There we go. So I'm gonna start building over here, and I don't think I have much room left for houses. Oh. Actually, yeah. Got room for a few. If I need more room, I'll just expand it. But for now, I'll just build a house on the other side of this garden. What say? Now, you guys are gonna probably think I'm crazy for doing this way, but I'm gonna, because I have a much easier time being creative by removing something than putting it in. So what I'm gonna do, oh God, really? Come here, shut up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a big block of house. Yes, like that, just like that. Mm-hmm. That looks good. Oops. That's all. Oh, it's all crooked. Okay. Now I can't get out of here. I built myself into the house. Hang on. There we go. We're gonna need a door anyway, so let's just do this. I'm gonna just make a big block of this, and then I'm gonna take away what I don't need. And you know what? I did this totally wrong. I should have done it the back. I gotta do the background first. Gotta do the background first. Give it back to me. Anyway, while I'm doing this, I slept during the day, usually. So I was not up. I was not awake when my soap operas came on. And what I would do is I had old VCR, and it was hooked up to the antenna, so you could record what came over it. And I set the VCR every day to record my soap operas. And in general, I recorded General Hospital. Oh, shit. Can you not? Oh. And All My Children. Those were the 2 that I watched. But strangely, I knew at that point that this wasn't something that was going to be an immediate interest. I had to watch it. I had to get into it. There was lore. There was stuff I had to catch up on. And I gave it about a week. And by the end of that week, I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked on General Hospital, but especially I was hooked on All My Children. That was, I had to watch that. I had to watch it every day. But I recorded it because, like I said, I slept at night or during the day. Now, funny thing was, my mother worked until, at this point, she worked at a hospital. And she was second shift. So she worked until midnight. And every night, after she got done working, on her way home, she would bring me home a salad from Hardee's. I don't know if you guys know about, Hardee's is basically the southern version of Carl's Jr. And at one point they sold salads. And she would bring me home my favorite salad every night. And do I have a door? Please tell me I have a door. I have a door. I've got a door. Give me a door. Excellent. But I can't put it in yet until... Hang on. Is that what I need? Nope, one more. Salad she brought me was... It had ham in it. little strips of ham and chicken. And oh no. And Thousand Island dressing. Had a sliced up egg in there. Boiled egg. And some tomatoes. And some other fresh veggies. And it was such a good salad. It was so good. She brought me home one every night. And then she would sit down with me. And she would watch the soap operas that I'd recorded with me. On the couch. Nobody else awake. House is dark. Everybody else in the family is already asleep. Just me and my mother at 1 in the morning. Just eating some noms and watching today's soap operas. And I know that sounds a bit nuts. But that was a time that was very special to me. It was a time that I won't forget, and I don't think I can ever get it back. That won't ever happen again. But I really enjoyed that time with her. And it was something that, you know, you always think is never going to end. Well, kind of ended when my father died. My father died, and at that point, my mother and I, well, all of us, we moved out to a different place. And she changed her shift, so it wasn't the same anymore. She was working during the day. And I never had that time with her again. And I think I really miss that particular time. It was maybe a couple of years that was going on. And I really enjoyed it. Oh, come on. There we go. We can do this. There we are. Looks like we're making a house, guys. I'm not gonna say it's a very good one, but it's a house. Okay. I may get rid of that background because I don't know if I want it to all be that wood. I'm just making the shape of it right now. Let me get out of here. There we are. You know, sometimes in life, and I know I've said this before, you get into a spot where you didn't expect for things to be as good as they are, and you want to hold on to those things. Maybe sometimes you don't even know that they're going to not be permanent. You know, always appreciate everything you go through. Appreciate every good time that you have, because it's not going to be permanent. Will never be permanent. And that's one of those times in my life that was not permanent, that I kind of wished was. Oops. I do wish that had continued on for longer. But nothing can last forever. So, what's wrong with this? A couple of tiles that are out of place. Oh, shit. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Hang on. I will, very much miss that time. Like I said, I'm repeating myself at this point. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'll miss that time with my mom. That was special. It was one of the few special times. I mean, my mother was there. I was there. And, of course, we interacted all the time. But there was never really any other time in my life that I can think of that just became her and I time. It was just our time, me and my mother. I don't think we had another time when we did that. And I took it for granted at the time, but looking back on it, I really do miss that. I do miss eating that salad and talking with her about her day and just watching soap operas with her. And oh, we got into it too. You know, we'd be, oh my God, Adam, that slime, he divorced. Oh my God. Oh, he's being so manipulative. He's trying to get his daughter to divorce Adam, which is just come along and just so he can get his money. We were so into it. And in between the times we were doing that, we were just talking about our day and just, you know, spending time together. And, you know, I would suggest that if you don't have a time like this in your life with your parent or parents, I would suggest trying to set one up. Because you can have some really special times with your parents where you share ideas and you share some time in your day. And I really recommend that. I highly recommend it because it may be something that, you know, you never have the chance to do again. And it's sometimes really, really worth it to do that. Now, I'm going to do a stupid thing here, and I'm going to go over here and put a completely different kind of door on this house on the other side than I did on the first side, and it's going to look stupid, but it's going to be a house. And from what I read, I'm going to need some furniture in here. I want to put up a second floor, and I got to get a deed. I got to get a deed to the house. Once I put the deed in here, and there is, oh, and there's one more thing that I forgot that I need, and I have one right here. For there to be a colony, there has to be access to an outpost. So, kerboom. There is another. Do I have to go through this thing? Enter bookmark name. Oh, what are we gonna call this town? Birdania. Yeah. And that's, I'm ripping that off directly from my friend Fleeks, who makes the bird shirts and made Birdania posters. So this is gonna be the real life Birdania right here. Means I can, wow, I can beam right from here into my house. Probably takes longer to walk, or take longer to beam than to walk there. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my story today. Some of my fondest memories, honestly, of me and my mother. And I hope that you get the chance to experience that same thing, because it was a very good experience. Just having time with me and my mother, you know, in the middle of the night over a salad and soap opera. Oh, the silliest things, but I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed it a lot. And I don't know. You know, maybe I'll have an experience like that somewhat again. If I do, I will cherish it. And you know what? Have you had times like this in your life where you realized that in the past at some point you were having some special times with a family member or a friend that you can't have anymore, and now you realize that they were awesome and you want them back, you want to do them again? Have you had times like that? If you have, let me know. Tell me about it in the comments down there, and I will read it. But for now, I'm gonna go and take off. And until the next story time, guys, take care.